Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is the New Rider Diaries and you join me on a first video in about 3 weeks. That's right, the weather's been absolutely terrible, but we've got a break in the rain and it's not looking too bad today. So I thought I'd get out on the bike, and you may notice something a bit different as I am riding the Honda Transalp 750. My local Honda garage have very kindly lent me this for a couple of hours just to see how I get along, and yeah, so far so good. Done a couple of miles on it now. It's an absolute powerhouse of a machine. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Obviously you can't see my face, but I am smiling from ear to ear. It's a great place to be. So stick around and we'll put some miles in. I'll let you know my initial thoughts. So the reason for the test ride today is that I am looking to upgrade from the Scrambler 400. You know, I love that machine, I really do, but I think now I've kind of got the basics out of the way. I've done a couple of thousand miles on it, well, closer to 3,000 now. I do feel that perhaps I'm ready for something a little bit bigger, and also something that's probably going to get me around a lot longer journeys. So next year I'm looking to perhaps go overseas, go around Europe. I've kind of got it in my head that I'd like to do a tour to Monaco, somewhere I've always wanted to go, and at the minute I can't really see the Scrambler 400 getting me there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a fine machine, it would be okay I think for the ride. It's just, I don't know how comfortable I would be doing that, shall we say. But something like this, it'll go anywhere, won't it? You know, it's an incredible bike. You can take it anywhere, any terrain, well, within reason. And you know, the engine, it'll just keep ploughing away all day, won't it? And another thing as well is that I do want to start taking my girlfriend on some rides with me. The Scrambler 400 is just not really suitable for that. You know, it's quite uncomfortable for a pillion, especially with me. I'm quite a big lad, so she hasn't got much room on the back there. So, but something like this would be fantastic. Lots of space. And I think the bike I'm riding on now is a 23 plate, and I think it's being sold for 7,499, which I think is such a great deal. How many miles has it got on it? So it's got 7,000 miles on the clock. I was having a look at it at the dealership and it looks absolutely brand new. So there are some fantastic deals out there to be had, I feel, at the minute. You know, while it is sad that dealerships are going out of business and closing down throughout the country, I guess for the consumer and the motorcyclist, you know, now's the time to really pick up a bargain, I guess. So what is there to say about the bike? I mean, it's a really comfy place to be. You know, I feel like I'm a king of the road sat on here. It's quite an upright seating position. I am getting blasted by a bit of wind, but not too much. So I think that screen is doing an okay job. I'm assuming if you buy it, there's lots of aftermarket options for it. I'm just in the standard mode at the minute. There are lots of different modes, such as like sport, rain, I think off-road. So, but I think I'll just leave it in standard for now. I'm quite happy just going along at 60. And yeah, it just feels dead comfortable. Suspension is amazing as well. Any little bump, it just absorbs it. You know, I haven't really got a lot to compare it to, but you know, when thinking of my Scrambler, it's obviously a massive difference, and it's a very comfortable place to be. The riding position for me, I'm 6'2". You know, my legs are bent slightly. It's not as high up as the Scrambler, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think I could I think I could sit in this position pretty much all day and really eat up the miles. The seat feels really comfortable. The seating position for your arms is really good, really comfortable. If you've looked at some of my other videos, you may notice I've had a bit of a moan about having a bad shoulder just from where my arms are positioned, but I certainly wouldn't get any of that riding a bike like this. And you know, it just feels like a big machine, a big kind of safe motorbike. It really is confidence inspiring, isn't it? I'm struggling for words to kind of summarize what I'm feeling at the minute, but yeah, it's a very, very comfortable, nice place to be. So as I said at the start of the video, it's been terrible weather over here in the UK the past few weeks. Now my riding time is pretty much limited to weekends. You know, I work Monday to Friday 9 to 5. By the time I finish work, it's pitch black over in the UK, so midweek rides are pretty much out of the question come winter. And then the last few weekends have just been awful, so I've sadly not been able to get out on two wheels. However, this weekend there is a rare break between the rain, and it looks pretty good, so hopefully I can get out for a few hours today and tomorrow as well. So hopefully I can make some more videos and upload. Just a really nice day to be out riding. Actually, the roads aren't perfect. You know, I did get covered in mud getting to the dealership on the Scrambler, unfortunately. But I think there's quite a bit of protection on here. Like the front fairing is quite wide, so hopefully I won't get splashed too much of mud whilst I'm riding this one. I don't really know where I'm going either. I'm just going to follow this road until I find somewhere to pull over. I'll do a quick walk round of the bike, and then we'll have to take it back. But I don't really know where I'm going. I'm not from around here, but there's some quite nice twisty roads. They seem to be quite quiet. The surface isn't too bad. There is a lot of rain still about, but you know, if you pick your lines, I think you're going to be okay today. Let's check out some of these different modes. So we've got rain, gravel. No, it's not off-road, it's gravel. I'm guessing that's a custom one. And then you got sport. I'm pretty happy staying in standard. I certainly don't want sport. There is a waiver of £1,000 on this if there's any damage, so yeah, that would not be good coming up to Christmas. You know, the controls seem pretty decent as well. I've not really had a play around with that joystick. One thing I can't get used to though is the indicators. I think from looking at other videos, I'm aware that's just like a Honda thing, but it feels like the horn and the indicator should be the opposite way around. But I guess if it's your, you know, if you were to buy it, I'm sure you get pretty used to it, you know, relatively quickly. I'm steaming up in my helmet today for some reason, a lot more than usual, but can't really figure out why. I've got all my vents open, but never mind. So as I said, I am potentially looking to upgrade the bike at the start of next summer. This is definitely high up on the list. Now normally I do, well, what got me into biking, should I say, was the modern classics. So my dream bike before I started riding was without doubt the Bonneville T120. Probably still is, to be honest, but this had to be on the list. I was just browsing a Honda dealership the other month actually, and I saw this in this colour, and I just couldn't believe how nice it looked in person. I think I found a lot with motorcycles that, you know, you see the brochures, the pictures online and whatnot, and perhaps they don't always do them justice. I think you have to really go in person to look at a motorbike, because only then will you get a true representation of what it looks like. You can see all the angles, the finish, the details. It's just and for me this is just so much better in person. I'm not too sure what mile per gallon is on this. I have read some reviews, I think it's about 60 odd, so that's still pretty good, but nowhere near what I'm getting on the Scrambler 400. Obviously, to be expected, it's a lot smaller engine, it's a, you know, single cylinder. So that is one thing I will have difficulty kind of moving away from. It's quite nice filling up your small tank and knowing that you won't have to do it again for another 230 miles. So that's one thing I've got to kind of factor in when I'm upgrading. But it's to be expected, you know. You get a bigger bike, the enjoyment factor goes up, but I suppose so does the costs. I wasn't sure how many gears it had then. So yeah, it's got the 6. Seems very easy to change. The clutch is nice and light. The brakes, I think they're good, so let's see if there's probably not a good place now. Right, there's nothing behind me. Yeah, front brake's amazing. I'm not sure if it's single disc or 2 discs. And then the rear brake's also fine. So there's a car park coming up here in just a second. I'll pull over and we'll just quickly go through the bike on my phone. Here we go everyone, here's the Honda Transalp 750. Absolutely stunning machine. Look at it in that kind of, I guess it's like a gunmetal black really. Got the 2 discs on the front there, which I wasn't sure of before. Got the screen. Seats just doesn't look too comfortable, but I could sit on that all day. Loads and loads of room for the pillion. Got this top box here, which you know, I haven't felt has got in the way at all. Tyres seem fine. You know, it's quite wet and slippy on the roads today, but I feel absolutely grounded. And, here's the cockpit. Let's just start it up. Doesn't sound too bad either. So here we are back on the road. Got to try and remember all the way back to the garage now, which might be easier said than done. But now I kind of feel like I've figured it all out. I'm just going to enjoy the 10 or 15 miles back to the dealership. The engine on this is just fantastic as well. It's just purring beneath me. It's a lot less vibrations than what I'm used to. I'm not sure if they use this engine on any of their other bikes, but I'm assuming they do. It's you know, and with it being a Honda, you know it's going to be reliable. It'll go for hundreds of thousands of miles if you look after it. So I guess you know, if you were to buy one of these, you'd be good on it for a fair few years, so it would be a good investment, I feel, and that's definitely why I'm taking it for a ride. Very different kind of riding experience to the Triumph. So I did test the Triumph Bonneville T100, and whereas the Bonneville was, for the only way to describe it, it's like a Rolls Royce experience. I could barely feel the engine beneath me. It was just perfect engineering. I'm not saying this isn't, but it's just a very different kind of riding feel. Well, they're very different bikes, obviously, and that's a dilemma I've got. If I am to trade in the Scrambler 400, then you know, what do I go for? But this is the good thing about motorcycle riding, is that a lot of the dealers will help you out, and you know, you can take bikes for test rides. Whoa, look at this. This is great. Just feel like you're king of the road. Yes. I think the dash as well looks really good. I think how they formatted it and laid it out looks really smart, really easy to kind of you know, glance at, check how fast you're going, read what you know, all the information they've got on there is all to the point, stuff that you'd want to know, so you're not having to kind of scroll through different menus. I think there'd be enough room to get some sort of sat-nav system on there, perhaps. Yeah, I could see myself being very happy owning one of these. Decisions though. Probably not a good idea to buy one just before Christmas. I've also just booked the trip to New York with my girlfriend, so that's going to break the bank. But it might be interesting to see what prices are like on new and second-hand bikes, or approved used bikes, come the new year. So I'm just about to get back to the dealership now to hand the bike over, so I'll end the video here. But what I will say is that I am absolutely grinning from ear to ear. This bike is some machine, and it's certainly given me a bit of a dilemma as I wasn't expecting to like it quite as much as I have. But yeah, if you've liked the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Really appreciate it as always, and hopefully I'll be back with another video in the not too distant future.